U.S. to scrutinize Beijing commitments under EU-China investment deal. If China did make additional concessions in that agreement on things like market access, on forced labor, we certainly welcome that, although we really would look to the Chinese to prove that that's not just cheap talk, and that they're going to implement those commitments, said Molly Montgomery, the State Department's Deputy Assistant Secretary in charge of European and Eurasian Affairs. State Department: the United States is looking to scrutinize China's commitments under an investment deal that was signed in late December between the European Union and China, a senior State Department official told VOA Tuesday. The EU-China Comprehensive Agreement on Investment is seen as a geopolitical win for China, and a blow to transatlantic relations despite concerns over the deal in the European Parliament. In a recent interview with VOA, Montgomery also said the United States is committed to working with the European Union, which facilitates the dialogue between Serbia and Kosovo. What is the top policy priority of Bureau of European and Eurasian Affairs in coming years? Montgomery: I think the President has made it very clear beginning with his inaugural address that our priority really is to rebuild our relationships with our allies and partners in Europe. Montgomery: I think all countries, whether it's the United States or Europe, have a multifaceted and very complex relationship with China. And so, I think our focus really is working on a multilateral basis with our allies and partners to strengthen our cooperation, and to look at areas where we can cooperate with China, such as on climate change, but also to be aware that there are economic activities that we want to push back on. And so we're really focused on working with our allies and our partners to develop an affirmative agenda as we look at this complex relationship with China, and to defend our values and our shared interests as well. Montgomery: the United States has been very clear, Secretary Blinken has been very clear, that we believe that what has happened in Xinjiang is genocide, that we have seen crimes against humanity committed against the Uyghurs. Serbia and Hungary have become the first European countries to use China's Sinopharm COVID-19 vaccines. This administration has engaged very actively in the first month in multilateral fora, to work with allies and partners, as well as with countries like China, to promote global health security. But at the same time, we also know that China uses the multilateral system to promote its own interests to undermine some of our shared values, and so we want to work very closely with our partners and our allies to protect those interests, and to push back where we see that China is trying to undermine the rules-based international order. Montgomery: we really look forward to having early consultations with the EU on this investment agreement. I think you've heard from Secretary Blinken and from others, our allies have certainly heard that we're eager to look for areas where we can cooperate on China, on the basis of our shared values, and to promote our mutual interests. Listen, if China did make additional concessions in that agreement on things like market access, on forced labor, we certainly welcome that. Although we really would look to the Chinese to prove that that's not just cheap talk, and that they're going to implement those commitments. And so we really look forward to having conversations moving forward with the EU and with our European allies and partners about working together on these issues. Montgomery: we certainly continue to support the EU-facilitated Belgrade-Pristina dialogue, and to look toward a comprehensive agreement, a normalization agreement that would lead to mutual recognition, or on the basis of mutual recognition. Montgomery: we're really committed to working with the EU, which facilitates the dialogue, and with our partners in tandem. We know that we have been most successful there when we have worked hand in glove, or shoulder to shoulder with our European allies and partners, and so that's going to be our approach. Montgomery: well, you've seen that we have congratulated the V4, the countries of the Czech Republic, Hungary, Poland, and Slovakia, on 30 years of cooperation in the Visegrad Group format. We really look forward to partnering with them on shared challenges, everything from COVID-19 to climate to things like strengthening our democracies and independent media.